Is Mississippi built for mail-in balloting? I'm afraid to ask.
You already know the answer.
Yeah.
The answer's no. So we're one of those states, we do not have no excuse voting. So we have absentee voting, but not mail-in voting. And that's the difference. So in Mississippi right now, for you to vote absentee, you have to fulfill one of the 10 criteria to make you eligible. You know, like I'm in the military, I'll be on vacation, I'm sick, and so forth. So there are 10 criteria that you must comply with and have your excuse reviewed by the circuit clerk. So let's take, for example, when I ran before, I ran before.
Yes.
In November 27th, 2018, we got 47% of the vote, okay?
Right.
Now, that was 2 days after Thanksgiving. So in the general election, Senator Smith and I were neck and neck. So 3 weeks later, there was a runoff between the two of us. It took the circuit clerks of Mississippi 2.5 weeks to print a ballot with 2 names on it. So then in Mississippi, if you want to vote, you have to send an application to the county circuit clerk, and that application has to be notarized by a notary public. So think about a rural person, maybe without transportation. They have to go and write for the application, say, I want to vote absentee. Then they got to go and get somebody to notarize it. Then they got to mail it to the circuit clerk. Circuit clerk has to look at it and certify whether the reason you're giving is one that qualifies under the statute. And then they mail you the ballot. It's got 2 names on it. Then when you get the ballot in the mail, you got to mark it, send it back, notarized, right? And so then there were thousands. They talk about Stacey Abrams, she won.
Yeah.
There were thousands of ballots coming back to the circuit clerk's office for Mike Espy that were not counted because in Mississippi, that absentee ballot has to make it physically the day before the election. So that was the 26th of November. All those ballots had to be in the 26th of November instead of the 27th. So they were not counted. So you understand?
Yeah.
So all of that effort to qualify for absentee balloting, arduous and onerous, and I think discriminatory, if you will. Still, there were people voted for SP. We got 47% of the vote. Now, the legislature did make some changes recently.
Okay.
So now there are 11 reasons. So the 11th one is that I have COVID or I have symptoms of COVID.
Okay.
It's got to be certified by a doctor. So yes, sir. Now, so that's at least one thing. And then the other thing is that your ballot now can be postmarked the day of the election. So November 3rd, if you want to vote absentee Mississippi and you have COVID, I think you do, instead of rushing to get your ballot notarized to get it in the day before, you can get it in the day of 5 days later.
Okay.
Well, that's something, but that's all they did. That's all they did.
In that case, then, we are probably looking at how to get people to the polls then on November 3rd. I mean, there's really no way around it.
We have early direct voting. So it starts September 30th. So people can physically go in to the circuit clerk's office personally and vote and mark their ballot. Then they're held and counted November 3rd. So that's what we're banking on.
Okay.
So in Mississippi, we have the largest number of registered voters, African American per capita, of any state in the nation, right? But there are income issues, transportation issues, all of that. So the goal of our campaign is to build the largest, widest, deepest most robust get out the vote system in Mississippi's history. We have to do that because, Mark, I'll get 99% of the black vote. I did in '86 when I was the first black congressman from Mississippi. I got it 18 months ago when I ran for the Senate in the same seat, and I'm gonna get it this time. So if the black voters get to the polls, they'll vote for me. It's just a matter of getting there or being infrequent. You know, we've identified 100,000 black voters. They have not voted for anyone since Obama 2008 in Mississippi. So they didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. They didn't vote for me 18 months ago. And it's a matter of education, information. It's a matter of not feeling connected to the election. You know, why should I vote when there's no material benefit for me that I can see, you know? So it's our job for a campaign to connect this remarkable opportunity with a material impact in their life. You know, here's how you get a job. Here's how you get to a GED. Here's how you get more job training. Here's how you get Medicaid expansion. Here's how you make more money. Here's how you can apply for a house. You know, there's so many that just don't believe that voting period means anything for them because they've seen no benefit. So it's our job as a campaign to make sure that in this COVID environment, I believe in the $600 increase for unemployment. I believe in expanding food stamps. I believe in science. I believe in money for schools and hospitals. I believe in going to the Mississippi Delta and connecting them to jobs. So it's our job to say, okay, we got this opportunity. Mike Espy can win. I got 47% of the vote 18 months ago. I got 99% of the vote. I would have wanted you to come out. Okay, why didn't you come out? So that's our job.
What? So you said 100,000. I'm just doing a little math in my head, Mike. What was the numeric difference between you and Cindy Hyde-Smith? Was it 100,000 or less?
The numeric difference between me getting the 50% plus one was 36,000 votes.
Whoa.
Yes. If I got 36,000 votes more, it would have been 47 and 3 plus 1 is Mike Espy in the Senate.
And there are 100,000 who have not voted.
Infrequent voters since 2008.
So if half of them, of that 100,000, and you could get them solid and out to vote, that could do it. I mean, we don't want to minimize it. We like to get the whole 100, but I'm just looking at the math.
Let's talk about the whole dynamic. Okay, you know, Mississippi is 60-40, 60% white, 40% African American. All right, now, so I can't win with black votes alone, nor should I. All right.
Right.
So I'm a Democrat. So what we have to do, we've looked at these numbers upside down, inside out. And look, man, I know what the numbers say. So if we're able just to increase black voter turnout by 3%, to go from 32.5% of turnout to 35, that's 2/3 of what I need to win. The other 1/3 would be white voters. Now, Mississippi is a red state. However, we're not immune to national trends. So around the nation, we've seen white voters in the suburbs, white women who are highly mobile, better educated, white college students. They're here in Mississippi as well. And we know that because in Trump 2016, Mike Espy's race in 2018 flipped 4 counties. I flipped 4, Mississippi is 82 counties.
Right.
I flipped 4 from Trump 16 to Espy 18. We've seen that. And then we had a governor's race last year, 2019. We had a Democrat at the top of the ticket. He flipped 2 more. So we've got 6 counties in Mississippi. We believe that we can flip a Espy here in about 90 days. That's number one. Number two, I've done polling in these areas. So in the suburbs of Memphis, they just elected the black woman to the state legislature. She tried 3 times before.
Right.
To be a state. She won She won by 14 votes. In the suburbs of Jackson, Mississippi, we had a white legislator named Shonda Yates. She won by about 2,000 votes as a Democrat. She unseated a Republican who had been there for 30 years. So the white kids that go to the Black Lives Matter March in Mississippi in June, they're in the college towns, Ole Miss and Mississippi State and USM. So they're all coming with me. The white women in DeSoto County, Memphis suburb, Jackson suburb, the Gulf Coast, which is more connected to New Orleans than it is Mississippi. So they all believe in new leadership. They want to turn the page. They're the ones that got our legislature to take down the Confederate flag, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think it's curious that a flag that had been there 163 years came down in 2 weeks?
That's right.
That's because the legislators, we have a supermajority Republican legislature. So they knew that their constituents wanted to change. Enough of them wanted to change. So they're tired of Confederate Cindy. Mark, I'm ready to get someone, and you know her, in the last cycle, she said, I'll be at the front row of a public hanging. She said, well, maybe we ought to suppress the votes at the other universities. You know, she's talking about Jackson State, Alcorn. We know that. That's cold. But in 2014, 6 years ago, she went to the Jefferson Davis Museum in Biloxi. All right, no problem with going to a museum. I'm not sure how to go, but I'm not a begrudger for going. But she tried on a rebel hat. She tried on the rebel waistcoat, and she held up a rebel gun, Confederate era gun. And then on the way out, you have to write notes on your way out.
Right.
And this was the best of Mississippi's history. That's what she said. So that is going viral. If you go to my website, spforsenate.com, you will see this picture. Now, this is not 1914 or 1814. It's 2014.
Yeah.
This is so the people here, Mark, what I want to tell you is that, yes, the task in this election in 90 days is getting the black vote out. So we have enough numbers here now to easily get 3%. Obama got 39%. Mike Espy got 32%. I need to get 35%, okay? 3 more percent. And they're here to do this. That's a matter of revenue. We need the buses. We need the door knockers with PPE. We need the ability to digital peer-to-peer text. We got to do all of that to bring them out. We've got to get all the Black Lives Matter movement young folks to encourage their peers to vote. So I believe that we're able to do this. Now, all we need now is 4% more white vote. So 18 months ago, I got 18% of the white vote, 18. No one had ever done that before. We got more votes than John Stennis in 1980, since John Stennis. Wow. We got more votes as a Democrat than anybody since John Stennis. So we need 4 more percent. And they're in the suburbs, they're in the Gulf Coast. And they've already made their wishes known by asking the legislature to take down that flag. They're rallying now to our campaign, and I know that they're here. So I'm not that worried that we don't have them, right? We have the numbers are here for me to win in 90 days. But everyone overlooks Mississippi because it's Mississippi. You know, they call us that we're not a battleground state. Well, we are a battleground state because we have the numbers to win. Yeah. But because it's Mississippi and it's a red state, they don't recognize that we have purple enclaves and blue counties. And we don't have to win half of them. All I need is 4 more percent white vote. Already got 18, now I need 22.
Yeah.
And on black vote, well, it's here.